DHQv3 is out! Yes! If you didn't know, DHQ provides free coding tutorials for the beginner to intermediate developer, and there have been a number of improvements over the previous versions of DHQ, so it's much faster, it looks a hell of a lot nicer, all the content's a lot better, and everything's just a little bit more refined, as you'll see when you visit the site. But that's enough rambling about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. So this is it, this is DHQv3. If you didn't know, DHQv3 has been an upgrade to the site in 3 ways. So firstly, it's been an upgrade to the design. So if you were familiar with the old site, this is a much nicer looking design. Everything's more sleek, a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional. It's also been a major update to the content. So pretty much all of the content of the site's been rewritten. It's much better, it's educational, and most importantly, it helps the user learn rather than sort of just being a user manual, as you can see by going to the About page. I write a little bit about that there. I don't want it to just be some super accurate user manual. The idea is help you learn the stuff, and in the case of, for example, HTML and CSS, get you making good websites in good time rather than just reading all the documentation, which is boring and doesn't really have much results. And also, it's been an upgrade to the back end, so things should be a little bit faster, and everything should just be a little bit zippier, and it's all off a static site generation system now if you're interested, rather than being powered by Ruby on Rails, which is a kind of nice touch. So, as I've said, if you're familiar with the site, everything's looking a little bit different. One of the major changes you may have noticed is that there's no longer a forum link in the navigation bar up here, and that is because the community wasn't really there, so the forums have gone for now. They may come back in the future, perhaps when DHQ is maybe a little bit more popular, or I don't know, who knows what the future holds, but they may come back in the future, but for now they're not present. We just have home, which obviously this page here, we have tutorials, and then about and contact, which are pretty self-explanatory. So, as I've said, this really is all about the content, this upgrade, so let's go ahead and start having a look at it rather than just staring at this pretty homepage. So if we just click Get Started here, you can see this version of DHQ has 5 categories. We have HTML and CSS, JavaScript, C++, Ruby, and Lua. Now, I like to think the main ones are HTML, CSS, and C++, and then we sort of have JavaScript to accessorize HTML, and then Ruby and Lua are sort of just little scripting languages, and they don't have many tutorials in them right now. I should probably mention this, all sections on the website are still under work. I'm still improving lots of different things. I get feedback on different things every day. I need to be adding more Ruby and Lua tutorials, as well as I also have more ideas for C++, and more things for HTML and CSS. I want to talk about responsive design and all these other things, so I do want to create more tutorials, but for now, obviously, I'm going to work on improving the stuff that's on there, and that was the major point of this upgrade, improving on the previous content to get this. So let's just have a basic look at one of the sections. Let's take a look at C++, for example. So if we go down here, maybe just look at polymorphism. There wasn't really much point in me clicking on the category if I'm just going to go to the one in the footer, but whatever. You can see, again, if you're familiar with the previous design, everything is much more typography based than it was before. We're using this consistent font across the site, consistent colors are being used, everything in the design is a little more refined, a little more polished than it was previously. And also, I think, an especially nice touch is the new code highlighting that is used, which is powered by pigments, if you're familiar with it, and obviously you don't highlight the stupid line numbers anymore, and a bunch of other problems that used to happen before, all fixed up in this more professional, more polished version of the website. I think I had some trouble saying that, but you get what I mean. So those really are the main updates. One important thing to note, you probably already noticed, this main content division is much bigger than it was before. It used to be like half of the screen, and then there was crappy side bits, and there was an ad at the side, and it's all rubbish. But I think the main focus of DHQv3 really is about the content. I keep saying that, and that's because I'm trying to make a point here. It's all about the content. Why shouldn't the content take up 100% of the width if it's the most important thing on the page, and it's what you've come to the page to view? That makes sense to me. And so this is the main orientation of the update. So the design is also fully responsive, so this is sort of the desktop width you're viewing it at now, and if we just have a resize, you should be able to see some of the changes, so we can just sort of resize it down like this. It's our first change there, the navigation bar just sort of pops down to a little bar, and then we can just kind of keep going, and things will just sort of work as you'd expect them to. So we have like that, and then it turns into a drop-down box for mobile all the way down to here, and that's sort of what it'll look like on an iPhone, for example. And I have tested it on, iOS, so that's the iPhone, the iPad, and iPod Touch, PS3, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Chrome, all these different places, and generally across the board, it seems to be pretty versatile and seems to work pretty well. Of course, there are some problems with IE, but what do you want IE users? Just switch to Chrome. Just do me a favor. Do us all a favor. Also, I should probably just very quickly mention that we do have video content on DHQv still. There aren't many videos up there right now, but I'm going to be coming back to this YouTube channel. Anyone that's familiar with this YouTube channel has watched this YouTube channel for a little while. I just said YouTube channel way too many times. Will probably know that I'm sort of not very regular on my content releases, but I'm going to try and sort of release some content more regularly. I'm going to get up to scratch, and I'm going to really kick off the HTML and CSS series again, and then maybe start making some of the C++ videos, because a lot of the videos on my channel right now, I'm planning to clean up in the future, and, you know, I'll list a lot of them, and leave only these very good quality and professional ones, which will be then embedded on the appropriate pages if they are deemed to be of a high enough quality. So, I've been talking about the history of DHQv quite a lot, by the way. Let's just have a quick recap. This may be quite funny to see the contrast. So, okay, this is the design here. This is the design here. Oh, this is the first design ever. This is what it all started as, folks. You can see the text. The name isn't even accurate. Is it Developers HQ? Is it Developers Den? Who knows? If you view the page source here, you can see I didn't even use any. I mean, what is it? Is it 13 lines of code to make a website? What's up with that? Comic Sans. What's up with that? Oh, half of this code is just the image map for the navigation bar. This is very poor. Didn't even close the body or HTML tags here, or use any divisions, or CSS for that matter. It's really not good. So then it progressed from that to this, which is kind of better, but it's not really great, is it? Did I use any divisions here? Let's have a look. Oh wow, there's a lot more code. But still no divisions. That's not good. Oh, and I used the center element. Oh no. Did I ever end the center? No, I did. Phew. At least I'm ending my body and HTML tags. Jesus. Oh, and we have some CSS. Well, that's kind of good. So you can see it kind of moved in the right direction, and then we went from that to this, which didn't really stay in there for all that long, but a little while, and I kind of like this design. And then we moved a couple of versions, which I sort of haven't got recorded in local files to show you, but you can see them on the previous outline videos, much like this one that I've done, about those. And now obviously we're here. What a contrast. What a journey it's been. But now we are here. We have good quality content all across the site. The design is good. It's all pretty zippy and speedy, so please check it out. www.dev-hq.net. So that's really all I have to say in this video. Please come and visit the website. The link is in the description, or I'll kill you in your sleep. Hurrah.